Hello from Portland. I want to talk more today about freedom of expression, which I talked about yesterday. And I want to talk very specifically about what I think is a disturbing trend in our culture, particularly in the area of debates over gay rights and same-sex marriage. We slide very quickly from expressing disapproval or disagreement to demanding some kind of punishment or negative consequences for people who express views that are narrow-minded or bigoted or anti-gay. And this is a huge distinction to me. I am completely comfortable attacking speech with more speech. I'm completely comfortable taking a statement someone has made, putting it on Facebook, exposing that person to public disagreement, ridicule, but we seem to have gotten very quick to take that next step, which is to say, this person has obnoxious views about same-sex marriage, therefore their business shouldn't get a license to operate in our city, or they shouldn't be allowed to teach in a public school. I find the idea that someone has to recant their views, however awful those views are, in order to receive due process of law or to be employed by a public agency is just wrong. It's wrong on a very fundamental level. And I was thinking more about why this seems to be coming up so much in the same-sex marriage debate in particular. And I think there are two reasons. And the first is this, and I can speak from experience here. When people say ignorant things about gay people, and you are a gay person or the relative or loved one of a gay person, it hurts. It really does cause psychological distress to have those things said about you. It feels awful. It produces a very intense and understandable anger. And anger usually is not content to just say, I disagree with that. Anger wants to punish. Anger wants to hit back. And while I understand that, I really try to resist that urge, because I just don't want to live in a world where your beliefs and opinions are subject to a kind of majority vote. The second thing that I think drives this urge to punish is a feeling that simple disapproval just isn't enough. That somehow, if you don't demand some kind of negative consequence, that you're somehow condoning or agreeing with the statements. And I just can't be adamant enough that I think this is totally wrong. I think this is a totally destructive way to approach public debate. But we entered a sort of arms race where somehow the person who is calling for the most awful consequence is the most opposed to the speech. Just like you had a lot of people in the wake of 9/11 who sort of measured your opposition to terrorism by how much of the Constitution you were willing to violate to get at terrorists. I'm just not willing to accept that framework for debate. I can disagree vehemently with what someone says and still not want to punish them, and still not want their business to be taken away, and still not want them to lose their job. And I've said this on my blog, and I'll say it here. I think the same-sex marriage debate has shown over the last 10 years that when we tell the truth, when we present the facts, when we make clear moral arguments, we win. We win. We don't need to coerce people. We don't need to threaten people. We don't need to punish people. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.